Hello YouTube, CivilianSnowman here, and today I've got another DVD and Blu Ray update for you. It's actually my first of the new year, so here goes. Starting with the one and only DVD I actually bought, and it's a film I was very unsure about, so I waited for it to plummet in price before I bought it. I actually got it for £5 from Asda, and that is Kevin Smith's latest Cop Out. Now, I thought for £5, it's Kevin Smith, it'll be worth, you know, watching, and there's got to be some sort of value in it. I got about an hour in and had to turn it off. It was absolutely dreadful, just god-awful. I actually had almost like a visceral, primal reaction to Tracy Morgan's character in this film. Tracy Morgan, the comedian starring alongside Bruce Willis in this. He's without a doubt the most irritating character I think has ever been put on screen, and I couldn't take it. I felt physically angry, and so I had to turn it off. It was shit. It really was. But yeah, apart from that, the script is pretty terrible. Now, Kevin Smith didn't write the script, but it's full of really awkward exposition and one-liners that just fall flat on the face. And Bruce Willis is phoning in his performance, well, basically just playing himself, and it's awful. It's dreadful. Don't bother with Cop Out. I mean, I love Kevin Smith. He's one of my favourite writers. He's made some of my favourite films, like Clerks and Chasing Amy. This is not Kevin Smith. Somebody has put his name on it. But it's not him. It's not the Kevin Smith I know and love. It's not the Kevin Smith I grew up watching. So yeah, Cop Out, avoid it. It's awful. It's dreadful. Although I did get some good Blu-rays. The first of which were actually in a 2 for $20 deal in HMV, which I had some like vouchers left over from Christmas, and I do complain a lot about HMV, but they happen to have a film that I really wanted. The one that I wanted was A Single Man starring Colin Firth, and I wanted to see this after I saw The King's Speech, and this is a fantastic movie. Single Man, I actually thought his performance in this was better than he was in The King's Speech, and that he probably deserved the Oscar for A Single Man more than The King's Speech. Anyway, that's besides the point. Good movie. I needed to pick one that to get with it in the deal, and the only one there that I didn't have was Green Zone, the Paul Greengrass directed Matt Damon action movie set in Iraq, and it's one I really wasn't interested in seeing because I really don't have an awful lot of interest in the Iraq war whatsoever, but I bought it, and as an action film it's pretty good, it's watchable, it's better than I would have expected. Now, I did find it full of cliches, and it falls into the same plot traps as every other Iraq war movie, how it turns into one man stands alone kind of mission thing towards the end. They all seem to do it, and I don't know why. But yeah, apart from that, really enjoyable action flick, and I would actually recommend it if you found it cheap. That brings me on to one that I bought because I love the first movie of this trilogy. I saw the second one in the cinema, and it was good, but not as good. But I want to see it again on Blu-ray, so I picked up The Girl Who Played with Fire. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a fantastic crime thriller. It falls apart at the end, but apart from that, it's a really good crime thriller. This one, I didn't know this, but it's actually a mini-series that's been re-edited for its release in America and England into a 2-hour film, and that really makes sense because when I saw it in the cinema I thought it feels really disjointed and there's bits missing. I thought like maybe there's a director's cut or whatever, and then I read up on it and apparently it's actually a mini-series. So I hope they release the mini-series as it was originally made. But yeah, as a follow-up, it's good. It's a good crime thriller, but it just falls short of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Plus the way it's made, instead of being shot on film, it's shot on digital. Instead of static shots, it's handheld, and it's just kind of in that style. It's kind of what we've already seen before 1,000 times, but it's still good, and it's worth seeing for the two lead actors' performances because they're both really good constantly. So that's the Girl Who Played with Fire. I then picked up a movie that I really was toying with getting, and it came down to £5 on Blu-ray, so I thought I would get it. And what prompted me to get this was James Gray, the director. I'd never seen any of his films, and I watched We Own the Night on DVD, which I've had on DVD for like over a year, maybe 2 years, and just never got round to watching. It was a shelfer, as we in the business call it. But I watched that and I thought, actually, this is really good. If you haven't seen We Own the Night, watch it. It's really good. So I picked up his his last movie, and that's Two Lovers. This is the last film Joaquin Phoenix did before he went mental, and it's basically about a guy who's torn between two conflicting relationships with two different women, and it sounds like it's kind of going to be you know, one of those neurotic drama kind of almost Woody Allen type thing, which it isn't. It's actually, it kind of transcends its genre, and I audibly, when it finished, I was like, no, I want more! It was a really good film. Performances are just amazing, literally amazing. I would recommend Two Lovers. Anybody who's a fan of drama or relationship kind of movies, Two Lovers is fantastic. I can't recommend it enough, and it's like £5 for this Blu-ray on Amazon, or it might be $5.99, but seriously, check it out, it's really good. So that's Two Lovers. I then picked up a film on Blu-ray that I really wanted to see out of morbid curiosity, and actually really enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would, and that is Devil. This is the first film in the Night Chronicles production company factory thing. The M. Night Shyamalan is basically, you know, any ideas he comes up with while he's sat on the toilet, he gives them to this Night Chronicles company, and they make them with different like up-and-coming directors. And Devil's actually a really good idea for a film, I must say. It's about a group of people trapped in an elevator in a skyscraper in New York, and one of them's the devil, and you have to figure out which one it is. Problem is, I figured out who the devil was before I watched it. Like, I won't show you the pictures on the back, but like just looking at the pictures on the back, I was, and the front even, you know, I bet it's that person, and it was. But the actual film itself is really well made, very stylish. I believe it's the director of Quarantine, the US remake of Wreck, which is a film I wasn't very keen on at all, but this is actually really good. Like, well, I say good, but it's a guilty pleasure. It's really kind of a glossy Hollywood horror movie, but the premise is so interesting, and it's very stylishly made. I did really enjoy Devil, and it's like I posted on Facebook when I watched it. It proves that M. Night Shyamalan isn't completely useless. He still has some interesting ideas. The main one of his ideas is a part 2 of the Night Chronicles trilogy after Devil is going to be basically his idea for a sequel to Unbreakable. Now, it's not going to be an official sequel, but almost like a spiritual sequel. Like, he's taken the sequel script and changed it into this Night Chronicles movie. That I'm looking forward to seeing, because Unbreakable is his best film, and not only that, it's one of the best films of the past 20 or so years. It's an amazing film, Unbreakable. Devil shows that M. Night Shyamalan still can shit out a good idea now and again, so that, you know, I'd recommend Devil. With Devil, on the same day, I also picked up The Other Guys. This is the new Will Ferrell comedy, directed by Adam McKay, starring Mark Wahlberg and The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. I won't go too much into it. It's basically a buddy cop comedy, spoof thriller kind of thing. It's funny. It's not as good as Anchorman and Step Brothers, but it's better than Talladega Nights. It has belly laughs in it. I found myself belly laughing a couple of times. Thought the film as a whole is a bit disjointed, and the plot is a bit too convoluted for this kind of movie. But apart from that, it is a pretty good rib tickler, so to speak. The Other Guys, I would recommend it to fans of Adam McKay and Will Ferrell. You won't be disappointed, because it's much of the same stuff they've done before, but with a bigger budget and action and explosions, and the action's done really well. It's a good watch, so that's The Other Guys. Speaking of guilty pleasures, I also picked up Piranha 3D, a film I saw in the cinema. My friend and I went and got very drunk and went to see Piranha 3D, which is basically the best way to watch it. It's a film which is actually a lot better than it should be. It's very well shot. It's directed by Alex Ajar, who did the remake of The Hills of Eyes, which is a film I have a lot of time for. And it's Switchblade Romance as well, which is one of my favourite horror films. Piranha 3D is a really good... It's like a modern day exploitation B-movie, gory as anything, and there's lots and lots and lots of naked ladies in it, which is always good. But yeah, it's better than it should be. It's very enjoyable. It actually has come very close to making it on my top 10 films of 2010 list. But in terms of how much I enjoyed watching it, I thought it was really good. That list actually, just to go slightly off topic, I will be doing a video of my top 10 films of 2010, but I'll have to wait a few weeks because I've yet to see The Fighter, or what's the other one, True Grit, those are two films that were released in 2010 in America, so I need to wait until I've seen those, then I can put the list together and make a video. So that's coming up in the next few weeks. The final Blu-ray I got is Dario Argento's Deep Red. This is the Arrow Films release. It's been recommended to me by a few friends. Liam, DVD Weasel, recommended this film to me. I watched it, really enjoyed it. It's pretty good murder mystery, very stylish, great soundtrack by Goblin. Although I know there's a certain mise-en-scène thing going on at the beginning where, you know, did you see the killer, didn't you, blah blah blah. I kind of did, and by accident, so I knew who the killer was all the way through the film, but it didn't make it any less enjoyable. A very good film, great release. I love these releases that Arrow are doing. I want to try and pick up them all at one point or another. But Deep Red, I really liked it. It's as good as, if not better than, Suspiria. Which I know is kind of a bold statement, but I really enjoyed Deep Red, so there that is. So once again, thanks to everybody who watches these videos, rates, comments and subscribes. You are the reason that I do these videos, so thanks a lot guys. This is CivilianSnowman signing out. I'll see you later. Bye.